Hey, Coach. Super excited you found us on YouTube in my messy basement. But let me tell you a couple things. First of all, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. That's the first thing. Second thing is make sure you subscribe. Go hit that little bell so every time you come on YouTube, you'll be able to find all of our stuff and subscribe. That is really important.
Confidence.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops, episode
Love it.
42.
42.
And what's today's topic, Coach?
We are going to talk about if you've never coached before or never played the game of basketball, what do you do? Right? You have your youth team, might be your third, fourth, fifth, whatever, and they're desperate. Your league is desperate for coaches, and you've never done it before. How do you start? What do you look for? What do you do? Right?
I know. This was like me with soccer. Like I coach baseball, I coach other stuff, but soccer was like a whole different world to me. Like, yeah. That's how Teach Hoops came about, because it's like I didn't know what to do, and I was looking for stuff to help me do it because I didn't know
your own itch.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, there's probably basketball coaches that don't. I know that I can help people. But no, it's
well, that's why we created this podcast too, was for coaches, right? With that in mind, of a resource for them to turn to.
So let's go through all the resources that are out there, and then we'll talk about some specifics for them. Why don't you jump on that?
Yeah. So
my voice is going.
Yeah, your voice is going. I'll do a lot of talking. So from a resource standpoint, if you've never coached or never played the game of basketball, jump onto our Facebook group. It's youth. Just go to Facebook. It's Youth Hoops. Coaching Youth Hoops. Sorry, Facebook group. Coaching Youth Hoops.
I was going to correct you there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Coaching Youth Hoops Facebook group. Head on over to basketball practice plans. It's youtube.com/the @ basketball practice plans. I have a bunch of videos up there specifically for youth coaches who've never coached the game. We break down a lot of the things you're going to encounter, give you a lot of tips and tricks. Go over to your Facebook or your YouTube channel, which is
Teach Hoops. So you do the exact same thing. Oops, I just hit it. So I was looking.
Steve has a lot more drills and
everything, little bit of everything. So you go to the playlist on mine, you'll find just about everything you would need. So yeah, it's Teach Hoops, 2 different words, and then @Teach Hoops. So I don't know what that @ does in YouTube anymore. Does that do anything when you Google it or anything?
No, not when you Google it. It's just their way of, well, like you can do now your name on if you're referencing someone in your comments or right. So it's just an easier way to do that for them.
Oh, so that's why. Because I think if you type in YouTube and then go like Teach Hoops and the @ Teach Hoops, it will take you right to the page.
Yeah, if you don't have the @ though, it'll give you a 404. So you got to have the @ after youtube.com.
Oh, okay.
You got to go youtube.com /@ and then Teach Hoops or basketball practice plans.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I just didn't know, because I know how the @ works with like Twitter and stuff, but that's interesting. That's a relatively new thing with them too.
Yeah, they just came out September, October time.
Yeah, and I didn't even have to do anything for mine, because mine, they automatically made it
because you already had
that name. Yeah. So some people had to pick their own and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That was very nice.
Yeah, like my YouTube, that's what I had to do, because mine is a brand new YouTube channel, right? So, yeah.
So you had to do it.
So just to recap that, there's resources out there. Our Facebook group is really active with youth coaches. You can post something there. Youth coaches will answer you. Steve and I will answer you. Usually, we try to give you a link to video so you can see it as well.
Before on that, so the one thing with the Facebook group too is, I'm going to tell you, my Facebook group, my coaching one on basketball coaches, the big one that has 100,000 people on, like we were talking about before, has the queue is like 160 on questions right now. The great thing about jumping in the Coach Youth Hoops one right now, we're only a couple thousand people.
Right.
If you ask the question, I check it twice a day. I check in the morning and in the evening. You'll get it answered quickly. Like approve. And the only reason it doesn't go up right away is because we just don't want spam in there. We want it to be a good Facebook group. So we don't want people to be selling you, I don't know, like basketballs or jerseys or something. So that's why we approve it, but it won't sit there very long. It will be approved very quickly. So if you have a question, it's unlike my other one, you'll get it answered very quickly.
But then the last resource, coaches, is just, again, I know this is our own site and things, but basketballpracticeplans.com. If you're a brand new coach or haven't coached, I've laid out your entire season for you. You just walk in, you'll have all the drills and progressions. It's all thought through of what you need to teach from 3rd to 8th grades, or kindergarten through 8th grade. What am I saying? So anyway, lots of resources out there for youth coaches. And I think, just going back, thinking about my own journey through coaching, the things that I have learned at the, looking back when I started with my kid in 3rd grade, there's a lot, and I didn't know what I didn't know, and we still won, and we actually had we were undefeated, right? 3rd grade undefeated team, right?
You get a trophy for that, coach?
Got a trophy, had a huge trophy, actually. It was really big in this league that we were a CYO league. But the point of that is, love on the kids, be excited, be there for them. Those are the important things. Have a plan going into practice, know what you're going to do from practice to practice, and then understand the age that you're coaching and what's appropriate for that age. And I guess that's where the struggle might come in. What do you teach a 3rd grader? It's all about them having fun. It's a game to them. They don't worry about an offense, and teach them the basics of a defense, teach them spacing, right? Those types of things. Lots of resources out there. Just, Googling it. You just, again, showing up and being a positive influence is number 1. Number 2 is just some, fundamentals. Teach them how to dribble. Teach them, you don't have to teach them shooting form, 3rd and 4th grade. They can barely, let them shoot with 2 hands. It's more about how to move and how to space out.
Right. I think it's hard. Again, we talked about the resources.
Mm-hmm.
Best thing I think, especially if you've never coached, is find someone that maybe has to help you. Find a mentor, find an assistant coach, find somebody or something. Resources are great, but a voice, like I can tell you, we had a tough loss last night. I spent an hour with 2 of my assistants kind of processing, here's what we need to do. Here's what we need to do. Like, I think it's just like, and the great thing about youth is you drop the kids off at home and you can go out with your assistant and have a beer, or go have dinner or something, because it's like a 7:00 practice or whatever it is. But I think that can be like, the kids don't seem to be very good at ball handling. Let's brainstorm some ideas that we can do for ball handling, blah, 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 blah. And then you talk about the Packers game, whatever you do, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And don't overthink the process, right? From what coaches are telling me, they got an hour to 2 hours every week at the youth level to practice. I mean, come on, realistically, how much can you teach them in that time frame, right? Not a lot. So, if you get really good at the fundamentals, really good at dribbling, really good at shooting, really good at spacing and movement, you're going to have a good team, period. You don't have to teach them specific plays and, complicated offenses and complicated defenses. You just don't have the time. And the brain capacity isn't quite there, and their movement and how they, process things is not, they're not adults. And make it fun. That's the thing. It's just, remember, you play basketball. It is playtime. It's like you play a game, a board game, right? It's supposed to be fun. It's no different. Make it fun for the kids.
Yes. They should leave practice wanting to come back to practice.
Yeah. And leave sweaty and fun, they got a
Yeah.
good workout in, whatever that might be.
Hand them a Gatorade. Don't hand them a Gatorade. Actually, that's like handing them sugar. But hand them something nice, like when they leave. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
have
anyway,
prizes for the, we used to give out little, prizes for at the end of practice or the end of the week or whatever, end of the games, just to, recognize the teammates, right? It wasn't a trophy for every kid type of thing. It was definitely just a, hey, who showed up, right? Meaning who played hard.
right.
No, just,
I think that's perfect. I just think if you've never coached, you still know more than they do.
That's right.
Trust me. Listen,
Yeah.
I always tell the new teachers in the building, I said, just remember, you know more than they do.
Yeah.
For the most part, because usually they're teaching introductory classes. So,
yeah, and you've nailed that, right? You know more than they do. You're out there, and I think really, Steve, it really comes down to, well, I've never done it before, so I'm not so confident. Gosh, you second guess yourself all the time, right? And looking back on that, you know what? I was there. I was the volunteer. Okay, maybe I didn't know everything, how to coach. I know how to play, but coaching and playing, two different things. But I got better and I studied as the years went on. And I think that's what's important is, yeah, you're not going to know everything. You're not going to know late game situations and right. But that's okay. That's okay. It's youth. If they look back and, I still see some of my kids out and about town and, I see the joy when they see me, hey, Coach Flitter, right? I'm like, okay, win. That's a win. Right.
yeah. And they smile and they come
and
and
they
give you a high
smile.
five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're men, some of them, and I don't recognize them and they recognize me.
I know. That's the way I feel sometimes. All right. Anything else, Coach?
No, guys, just, there's plenty of resources.
Yep.
Guys,
They'll all be in the
plenty of
show
resources.
notes.
Yeah. Plenty of resources out. And it's just, have the confidence. You're there, you're showing up, you're the volunteer. Nobody else tried, maybe nobody else did it. And just remember, go in with a plan, have fun, make them sweat a little bit, and, have them come back the next year.
Yes.
That's what you want.
Don't be their last youth coach.
Don't be their last youth coach. That's right.
All right. Till next week.
Till next week.
Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe and like. Go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.